Welcome back, everybody. I'm Michael Foley, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how a smaller fighter can defeat a bigger fighter. I'm bringing in my longtime student, Muhammad, and for this one, around these parts, we call him Momo. Mo's got a lot of ring sports experience. He's a two-time national silver medalist in K1 rules amateur kickboxing, North American WACO bronze medalist, and has a bunch of amateur boxing fights. I don't even know how many. He's the perfect one to bring in for this because I tower over him. The first thing we got to talk about are what my advantages are. As the bigger opponent, I've got longer reach than Muhammad, and I've also got weight. Muhammad has to contend with those things, and I have to use them in my favor. The first of the 3 tips we're going to cover today is Muhammad has to control the distance. It looks like this. If we're at range here to strike each other, I can put my glove on Muhammad's face, but if he extends his arms, he can't hit me at all. So he has to keep that in mind. My set point for striking him is here, but his set point is right here. So that's way inside my range. He needs to be able to manipulate that. We're going to do that a couple of different ways. So the first one Muhammad wants to do is to get me reaching, to get me moving forward, and then he's going to close the distance and beat me to the punch. It looks like this. We're set up here. Now keep in mind my set points. I want to be about right here before I can crack him with a jab. He's got to understand that. He's got to let me move forward, but never let me get to the set point. So as I'm moving forward, maybe popping some jabs, he wants to keep me reaching, and then at the end of one of my punches, he's gonna step back and then cover the distance by moving forward with his own jab cross, boom, and fire it up the middle. So half speed, it looks like this. The second tip for defeating a larger opponent is to get inside my set point. So he wants to get in my face. The way he's gonna do that is he's gonna recognize my distance, he's just gonna size me up, and the way you get used to that is just by experience through training and competing, sparring. He's gonna recognize that distance, and then the second the match is getting ready to start, he's gotta get to the inside super tight. He can do that with a little bit of head movement, but a quick first step. So maybe I'm throwing a couple of punches, maybe I'm setting up, or maybe as soon as the ref says box, he's gonna get to the inside, boom, and he wants to stay small and tight right here inside my set range, so all my shots are glancing off his guard. He's in a good range to defend my hooks and uppercuts, but his arms are shorter than mine, so his punches can generate a lot more power from in this close, so he'd be looking for his uppercuts and his hooks and his overhand rights, Mike Tyson style. A half-speed example looks like this. He's gonna use a zigzag motion with his head, step to the inside and put himself right here on the inside of my set point. The third one is he's gonna create angles with head movement and footwork. You gotta think about it this way. Fighters often spend tens of thousands of hours sparring with a heavy bag or sparring with an opponent who is right here in front of them. So I tee off on my opponent here. But this time, what Mo's gonna do is he's gonna slip my punch. So I'll use a jab for this example. He's gonna slip to the outside of my jab and then circle to my outside. And he wants to stay super tight right here. If I turn towards him here, he can roll underneath, boom, and circle to the other side. Off of this, he has tremendous opportunity to counterpunch. Mo's gonna get over here to my shoulder, but I'm always in front of him. So if he creates that angle by slipping and circling to the outside, he's square with me. He's got power, I don't. So off this, if I turn towards him, he can roll underneath and hit me to the body, boom, slip and follow up with hooks and crosses to the head if I try to square up with him. And he's gotta stay tight. He's got to throw short punches and everything has to have power. A half-speed example would look like this. If you want to deep dive into a shorter fighter facing a taller fighter, look at prime Mike Tyson fights from the mid to late 80s. He was a master of getting to the inside, using hooks and punches, head movement, footwork to create angles and make his opponents miss. It was at a time when everybody was trying to look like Muhammad Ali with a long, straight jab on the outside. Tyson uses head movement to get in the inside, get in everybody's face, and ultimately knock him out. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I'm Michael Foley. I'll see you on the mats.